This is of course the famous Pillars of Creation taken by NASA in 1995. Today I want to do a little challenge, or maybe a community event around the challenge community, where we are going to be reprocessing this image, and I want to see your guys' results when we try to reprocess the original Pillars of Creation data, just to see what you guys come up with. So this is your chance to take part in this little event and share the pictures with the community. Let's just go and have a bit of fun with it. I think this could be quite fun. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to head over to the Hubble Legacy Archive. I'm going to be linking that in the description. We're going to click on Enter Site. We're going to say we want images, and we're going to search for M16, which is the Eagle Nebula, and this is of course where the Pillars of Creation are located. And the three images we're going to be using is these three here. And what we have here, 512 nanometer. So these are narrow band filters where we have the oxygen here with the 502 nanometer. Here we have hydrogen alpha, and over here we have sulfur. So these are the three like pretty standard narrow band filters. We're gonna get these. We just simply click here on the fits MEF. They get added to cart like so, and then you can go over to your card. It takes a bit of time for the site to refresh. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but give it some time, it will refresh. You can then see the data over here. There we go, now they're showing up. Once they all showed up over here, there we go. Then you can go ahead and say fetch HLA data, and it will be downloaded down to your local computer. Now, if you've never done any astro imaging processing before, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna give you a quick introduction to it so you can get started. We're gonna be using ZWO. This is a free tool to go and download, also link in the description. And I'm using one other tool called GIMP, which is also free, and there'll also be a link for that in the description. So you have everything free you can go and play with. Now, there are different ways we can process this data, and the first thing I want to do is just do a completely normal box standard, what's called a Hubble Palette. This is the standard that NASA's been using for decades, and you will probably get some colors that you will be very familiar with using this palette. So if we go in here to RGB processing, what we're going to do is we're going to take into the red channel, we're going to take our sulfur, this is this line here. Into the green channel, we're going to take our, oh, come on, there we go. We're going to take our hydrogen alpha, and you might say, but Astro, hydrogen alpha is red, it's not green, and you're right. But here we're just inventing colors, as we don't really have anything that fits in the green channel. So we just say the reddest we have is the sulfur, so that means the hydrogen alpha goes in green. We're going to do some slightly more like advanced stuff here in a minute, but this is just the standard Hubble palette, where we then put oxygen here into the blue channel. And if we just go ahead and say close to that, we have a completely black image, which is fine. It's set to linear. We can go over to RGB so we can see colors. There's still no colors, everything is black. We can go auto stretch. It often doesn't, it doesn't like to auto stretch these Hubble images, simply because they are not really, the channel's not really balanced, so we have to do that. So I would probably go in here to this generalized hyperbolic stretch transformations. And we can begin to do some stretches here. I'm going to be a little careful with my stretching here. We're going to have some highlight protection so we don't blow out the stars too much. Let's do another one. We can begin to see the green channel now begins to show up. That's the hydrogen alpha. So what we can do now is we can go here, we can deselect the green, so we are now only stretching blue and red. We should be able to at least get the blue up so that it's closer. And see, we're beginning to get somewhere again. Highlight protection. This is a decent first stretch. There's a few things we need to fix in it. We're gonna do that in a minute as well. You might notice we have these very, very red stars, which is a common issue you get when you do this Hubble palette. I actually asked the people over on my Discord, like, what do you guys do? Is there an easy way to fix this? Because I was trying to fix it in different ways. And what they said, and actually showed me a really cool trick, was you just go in here, you go negative transformation, so you basically invert the colors. Once the colors are inverted, we can see all the stars are now black with a green halo. And if we go and do a green noise removal, there we go. We can see they're now black with a slightly blue halo maybe. But if we now do a negative transformation again, there we go. We now have nice orange stars. Okay, let's just go ahead and just crop this to something we think is cool. Let's just save it where we are now. When you open up these fit files in GIMP, it asks you like what settings you want to import with. Keep it standard. The only thing you need to do is down here in image composing, you need to change that over to a 3-axis so we get the colors. Otherwise, you're just gonna get it in black and white. I noticed in this picture that this is of course made out of smaller frames that are then stitched together. So it's a big mosaic basically. If you notice here that sometimes there's a few like little imperfections. I would usually just go in with a clone brush tool and I would make sure I have a nice soft edge on it. Then I would click and hold Control to select an area that kind of looks like it's the same color wise, and then I could just basically paint over it. Then you can't see it. And then same thing in here, find something that kind of looks like it matches. That wasn't too good, it was too dark. Maybe this side here is better, slightly better. I think the colors are a little too muted as they are right now. So we can go and play around with it. Let's just go and, whoa, that's too much. Add a little bit of chroma. If you put a split screen up here, you can kind of see the difference, right? So you can see that's what we do. We're just increasing the chroma a little bit. That's what we had before. Colors were a lot more muted. We can pull out a little bit more intensity. And then basically just post the images over on the Discord server. I'm gonna make a channel for it over there, so we have a place to post it. This is just the standard Hubble palette. There are other ways to do this, and this is where you guys can get really, really creative. So jumping back over here to Serial, what we can do now is we go to image processing and we go to pixel math. We can now go and we can take our 3 filters we had before, so take those 3 files we downloaded and we're gonna open them up. We're gonna change the names of these so that they match the filter that they correspond to. So this one is S. I'm gonna unclick this so we have the R, G, and B channel. And I'm gonna try, I found a guide here where people said something called the neutral palette. And it showed some examples. You get some more like red colors. I think look pretty cool. So I think I want to try that. And this palette here, we're basically gonna say the red channel is 75%, whoa, 75% on the sulfur channel, plus 25% of hydrogen. The green one is just pure oxygen, and the blue channel is 10% hydrogen alpha plus 90% oxygen. See what we get. Again, we start out with a completely black image. It's fine. General hyperbolic transformation. So now we have the same image, but with a completely different color palette. And you might say, but oh, this is not the way it looks, but neither is the Hubble palette. These are we're just inventing colors now, and this is where I want you guys to be creative. Go in, play around with the pixel math, try different things, reprocess the whole thing. We could do the same thing now where we could go and crop this, and we could take it over into GIMP, and we could boost the colors a bit, and we could fix all those little imperfections that we know the picture has. Like there was one and there was one. We could go and fix all of those over in GIMP, and then post the pictures again over on the community Discord server. Link for everything is in the description, and I am really looking forward to see what you guys come up with. I think this could be quite fun. And when you post a picture, just put a small description in and tell us what you've done. What kind of pixel math did you use? What did you do to make the picture pop the way you make pop? Let us know, share your creations, and have some fun with it. I think this could be a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun playing around with this at least, and I hope you will too. I will see you guys over on Discord. Thanks for watching. And look at this. These are my luminance frames here. We are on an auto stretch right now, and these are, look at this. If I say, hey, I would really like to look at some deep sky objects, I'm gonna go here, deep sky objects, and then let's go and